Hey everybody, this is a little spring update here at our new homestead that we have, and I really wanted to show you a lot of these trees that are already here. And this crabapple turned out to be a red leaf variety. If you can see, it's got bright red leaves, and it looks like it's going to have red flowers. I see some red flower buds right here. So this is pretty cool. This is nice because I'll have a pollinator for any of the apples and stuff like that I plant. And I planted a gala apple right there, or gala apple, however you say that. So it's about good 30 feet away from it. But the main thing I wanted to show you is this tree right here. And I know it's some type of cherry. I'm thinking that it's maybe some type of Kwanzaa cherry or some type of flowering cherry. I don't see any dried up fruit on it. So either it's just a plain old flowering cherry, or the birds get to all the fruit before they hit the ground. But look at this tree. And they almost have a tinge of pink to them. But yeah, look at that. I can just hear the bees buzzing right now. But this is probably, if it is a cherry, this is probably one of the biggest cherries I've ever seen before. And I mean, it's huge. It's a huge tree. And just sitting underneath it, oh, if it was full of fruit, that'd be so cool. And this tree is about 20 some feet tall. And I don't know what this one is right over here. It's the other one that I showed you. This one's got some big white flowers on it. So this is pretty nice. This is a nice little perk. I'm glad to see this. Oh yeah, all I hear is bees right now. Whoa, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just looked up and there's hundreds of bees right now above me. But I don't know, they almost look like apple or crab apple or something. Whoa, there's tons of bees right here, honeybees and everything. So that's pretty cool. That'll be nice because I'm hopefully planning on getting some beehives too, and a lot of big flowering trees like that, that's a lot of good honey they can make. So we got the crab apple over there, and I'm going to show you the big old redbud tree right by the house. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is the redbud tree. And these flowers here, when they start to open up, they're edible. This tree is related to the pea family. This is a redbud, eastern redbud. And even though it's a tree, it's related to sweet peas. And the flowers look very similar. I'm sure they taste very similar, but you can cook the little pea pods also too. Produces little pea pods like a sweet pea, and you can cook them and saute them and cook them just like you would any other stir-fry sweet pea. So yeah, this is the eastern redbud, and this is another very, very large tree. And I'll show you the plum in the back. Alright, and here's the big plum tree back here. And it was really pretty last week. It was covered in white flowers. And I'm thinking this is a damson plum, but you can see some of the flowers still. But hopefully all these old flowers are going to produce a bunch of fruit. But the guy I bought the house from said these are a bunch of little purple plums, the size of a golf ball. So I'm thinking it's a damson plum. But But this is what happens when you buy trees that are grafted. If you can see this big old thing right here, this is where the new tree was and the rootstock was right here, if you can see that. So I've known from previous experience with fruit trees, when you buy grafted fruit trees, and let's say you have a dry summer or a really wet one, anything like that, if there's any stress on this tree, even if you have a long winter, the tree will most likely die where the graft is, and all you'll have is the rootstock, the wild rootstock they grafted it onto. So you're better off actually burying this tree when you plant it above the rootstock line where it was grafted. And you're more likely to have roots coming up out of this original scion, this original branch that they're trying to grow, like in this case the damson plum, onto, let's say, a wild root. And looks like an elephant's foot, don't it? But for everyone that swears by grafting and think it's the greatest thing, rather than this, I'd rather have the wild plum. I'm sure you can eat them. There's a lot of great wild plums: the Chickasaw plum, the American plum, you know, the Maritime plum. A lot of great wild American plums out there. And it looks like a big nasty knot right there. And that's probably what's wrong with the tree. The tree looks sick. It has a lot of fungus growing on it, a lot of these lichens, some moss growing on it. And so when you plant your fruit trees, no matter what anybody else tells you, if you want a healthy tree that's going to live a long time, bury it below the graft. And if you can do it at all possible, get trees that aren't even grafted. They just take cuttings off, branches off, and root them. You've got rooted cuttings. And see, I mean, this tree's dry. So I'm sure we'll get some fruit off of it, but just looking at it, the way that it is, all gnarly, and it's even got usnea growing on it. It might not have too much life left in it. We'll see what we can do, but yeah, and see, and if you don't cut these little branches off when it's originally grown, you don't get a big solid stem. You get all these little knotted things. There, it was cut right here. There was a big branch here cut off. The previous owner must have cut that off. So it was a big bushy plum tree at one point instead of a tall, healthy tree. So a lot of things have molested this tree over the years, to where it's not as healthy as it should be, or could be anyways. But either way, I think we'll get some fruit off of it, and maybe graft some of the good branches up top. Not graft them, but root them somehow, and try to get some little babies, you know, get some clones of this big mother plum tree right here. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully pretty soon this whole backyard will be full of a bunch more fruit trees, and pawpaws and wild plums and peaches and almonds, and you name it, it'll be either here or in the front yard. So thanks for watching, guys.